everyone. This is my guest, Jennifer Wagner Schmidt of JWS Interiors. We're so happy to have her on. We've been trying to connect. We've been Instagram friends for a while now, and I reached out and asked if she wanted to join a live, and she agreed. And so we're so excited that she's here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. It's a great way to kind of have the hump day conversation.
Yeah, it's a good little pick me up, midweek pick me up. We spoke about that you are a high-end interior design firm. She's based out of the Washington, D.C. area, opened in 2006.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah. And has been featured in Elle Decor, HGTV Magazine, Harper's Bazaar, Domino Magazine, and Veranda. Some of her brand partnerships include Ralph Lauren Home, Z Gallery, KitchenAid, Delta Faucet, and more, and was named Fabulous at Every Age in 2015 by Harper's Bazaar, and Hot Talent Incoming Designer in the Washington, D.C. area by Home and Design Magazine in 2015.
Oh my gosh.
Got a long list of
Thank you.
accomplishments there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Did I miss anything? Would you like to add anything?
No. Thank you.
Okay. So can you give me a little insight behind your brand, your firm, just kind of how it came to be and how you got started and all of that good stuff?
Sure, yeah. So design is my second career. I started in high-tech PR and lived in San Francisco during the dot-com boom and did PR for a while. Loved it in my 20s, had a blast, met a lot of people, did a lot of cool things, but knew that long-term, as much as I loved it, I didn't think it was going to be the career for me long-term. And I always loved design, and I had moved back, was still doing PR to the East Coast, bought my first house, and the light bulb started to go off, and I realized if I didn't want to continue with PR, what would my next step be? And getting into the house and decorating it, my creative juices starting, and I said, you know what, I've always loved design. Since I was a kid, I was the one who had the yellow Hobby comforter set, and I would fold it just like the magazine's advertisements, how the sheets were folded back. I was obsessive, my mom said, at age like 5 or 6.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The creative gene has been in me. So anyway, I quit my PR job, went back to school, took a couple classes, and worked for a showroom for a couple months and said, to hell with all this. I'm starting my own thing, and I'll just do it part-time because I just had a baby, and let's just see where this thing goes. So, like, my first year, I made a whopping $3,000.
But I mean,
that's how I started.
For another showroom for a couple of months. You are brave.
Yeah, I went down to the Washington Design Center, and I said, I have no experience. I have nothing to give you but my interest, and I think I can do a good job. And the owner flew me to California. He lived in California. I interviewed. And then when I got on the plane to head back, he said, you got the job. On the plane, like literally boarding the plane. And then I started like the next week at the design center and worked a couple months. And then I was like, I can't do this. It's not for me. I just want to do my own thing.
But you had experience building your own house and designing your own home, correct?
So I decorated it. I didn't build it. No, it was already. Yeah, it was. I'm a risk taker, I guess. I just said I'm going to go for this. You live once. I'm young. I was in my late 20s, 30s, and early 30s, and I just said, you know what? To hell. I'm just going to try it. Let's see where it goes. I can always go back to PR if I fail miserably.
And look at you now, 15 years and thriving. You've just been like
it's been a fun ride. I mean, it's a lot of work, as you know, as a designer. there's a ton of behind the scene things that people do not see.
Yeah, exactly. So many people think it's so glamorous, and I'm like, it's so far from glamorous. There is 10% of glamour. Everything else is like schlepping, you know?
Absolutely. We all curate our feeds. My feed is beautiful and what I post on stories, but there's a lot of back stuff, and I think I'm going to try and start showing that too, because I've been on my floors ironing things. I mean, I've done it all.
Like the floors, and then up late night, because not only do you have, I mean, there's an entire business to run as well. So all of the pretty beautiful things, but the business and you know, client relations and all of that. So and then social media, it's a whole job in itself. So
Absolutely.
I yeah, the behind the scenes is I feel like there's definitely a lack there of our industry showing what it takes to get into it. But
yes,
that's amazing. Good for you. And also, I think that, did the PR background kind of help you?
100%.
Yeah.
100%, because I had nothing to lose. I was happy with promoting my new business because I didn't have money to pay someone anyway. I didn't even have a website. I didn't even have a client. I had nothing. I literally was like telling neighbors, I'm starting a business. Do you want to help? So.
And so how long did it take to get your first client?
I had my first client within about 6 months, 4 to 6 months. It was a neighbor's friend, and she said, hey, my neighbor is starting this business. She'll give you a good deal because she's trying to get a portfolio started. And yeah, and so that's how it started.
And when was your first build job where you started from the ground? How long after into your business?
Oh, a couple years. I mean, I was really slow because I had a baby and then I had another baby. So this was super, I started this super part-time so that I could slowly build it with the hopes that it would be okay long-term.
And did you just partner with builders? Like, how did you, because I worked for a firm for 3.5 years, a small boutique firm, and before that, a commercial firm. And so that is how I experienced the build process and the total reno. Was it just really?
I did fly by the seat of my pants. I just went in there and said, I have a good eye, and I took some classes, and I'm going to go for it.
Wow. That is amazing. Good for you.
And I made mistakes. I mean, I'm not saying everything was perfect, but you learn from those mistakes, and then, you know, that's how you learn, and then you don't make them again, and then you make new ones, and then you learn, and then you grow, and that's how any job is.
Yes, yes. I believe that the mistakes are definitely the lessons, the biggest lessons. That's where you learn the biggest lessons. For sure.
I have lined white linen curtains by accident with cream liner, and they're hung up in the sun, and they turned yellow, and $7,000 later, I had to have new ones made. That was my lesson. Learn that once and never happen again.
Yeah, that is a big, but I've made them too. I've made really big mistakes. And yeah, but lesson learned. Do you come from an entrepreneurial background? Were your parents or any of your family members entrepreneurs?
My dad is. He started a couple businesses growing up in sales. I've never actually thought about that actually in connection to me doing this. I don't know. But yes, he started a couple businesses. Yeah, and he never talked about it. Like, we never had a conversation about what should I do. Like, I just kind of did it, and then I don't know. I just wasn't thinking, I guess.
No, because I do believe that having that kind of role model growing up, any kind of entrepreneurship role model, whether it be your parents or grandparents or someone close to you, gives you a little bit of I guess confidence to go out there and push yourself because you saw it, even if you don't speak about it. I think that it's you seeing it just growing up. You're like, I can do this. My dad did this, kind of thing. And it may have given you that push early on to where some weren't as risky, I guess. It takes them a little bit longer.
I think you bring up a good point. I will say that I've always had a supportive family no matter what I did. So when my idea came to do this and quit a 6-figure job to start at 0, instead of getting eyebrows raised and you're crazy, I got, why not? Why not follow your passion? How many people can say they actually tried it? Because I never wanted to be the person who said, I'll never know if it would have been a go if I hadn't tried. I had to try. And then I would know. And if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But if I didn't try, how would I know? And my family was so supportive. So I have to give them a lot of credit.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. So do you have a big team now? How have you built it up over the years, or do you like to stay kind of boutique-y and small?
I am boutique-y and small. And the main reason is because, and you are too.
Yeah.
You are as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I like it that way because I have 2 teenage daughters, and they're my priority. And I like to be able to control my schedule more. And so for me, at this point in time, keeping it small is perfect. Eventually, maybe I'll grow bigger, but I'm happy with keeping it small and then taking on the projects that we want.
Great. What's like the maximum amount of projects that you've taken on at one time? Because it can be a handful. And
it's a handful.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a set number because we do large and small, and I purposely mix it up.
Yes.
So I don't have a set number, but it really can vary depending on how many large versus how many small we have at one time.
Yeah. That's definitely the same as me. I like to get kind of work on both, but at the same time, being relatively new, I haven't gotten to that level to where it's like all of these projects are coming and I have to turn any down. Have you ever had to turn projects down?
Oh yeah, all the time. I don't have the capacity to do them because I don't have the big team. But that's okay because then, like I said, I value my time and I have a family I have to take care of. So I pick and choose, and I'm grateful for that opportunity because before I would have sometimes 20, 25 clients at a time when I first started.
Oh my
And my timesheet was nutso for 20. Oh yeah, I just took everybody because I needed to make money. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, everybody come to me. Sure. It was crazy.
How did you market back then?
Everything's been word of mouth. Just word of mouth, going to design parties, introducing myself. It's been word of mouth, and referral for me has been my golden ticket.
I think that with high-end design, that is the majority of where business comes from. Yes, social media now too, but referral for sure.
Definitely referral. And I will say my out-of-state projects are almost all of them are from Instagram.
Okay. Yeah, same.
So same for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's fun. I love, seeing people on Instagram getting notes. It's so much. I love it. Since my PR background comes out, for me, it's very natural to just talk, as you can see.
I love it, though. This is what makes a great live. The conversation, it just flows, Yeah. I'm so grateful for you being here for sure.
No, thank you.
In our little chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your firm's aesthetic for anyone that doesn't know? And do you have do you have a signature kind of like technique style with your process that are carried through all of your projects and design? Or do you like to just mix it up and keep it varied?
We are clean. We do clean, modern design that's livable, very neutral. If you look at our, our Instagram page or our website, whether it's Inspired Interiors or our own, I'm very neutral. That's my comfort zone. That's what we do well at. If you asked me, to do in tons of color and traditional, I'm not the firm for you to hire. So we're modern, clean design. My home's that way. A lot of whites, grays, blacks. Simple.
Yes, I love
but
that.
livable. We use a lot of performance fabrics for family. 90% of our clients have families, so a lot of performance fabrics, making sure it looks good, but it's also functional. As you know, you have to have it in there.
Practical, and that it's not so stoic and stark that the family feels uncomfortable, living their day to day. So beautiful, but definitely functional and practical.
Yeah.
Are the majority of your clients local, or are you seeing more of a kind of out of state, out of your area jobs coming through?
So the majority of them are local, but it's funny you say that. This year alone, I've had more out-of-state requests than ever, and they're coming in through Instagram. So, like for instance, I'm doing a New Jersey beach house that I just started, and she's a wonderful client, and she had said, "Oh, Jennifer, I've been following you for a couple years, and now we're getting ready to do this, and I wanted to reach out because, you were the one that, felt like clicked best with what she wants to do." And I was in Philly. Their primary residence is in Philly while this gets built. So I was just in Philly a couple weeks ago meeting with her for the first time. So it was great. So I'm starting to get more influx of out-of-state, to answer your question.
Okay. And generally, whenever you get these out-of-state clients, do they have contractors in line, or do you reach out and find those contractors to work with?
Usually they'll have them, and it works better that way because they are out of state, obviously, and it puts a little less burden on me, to be honest, because I want to make sure the job's done right. So if they've done their due diligence, they find the contractor, then I can slip in with my services and help and bring it all together for them. But then they've already done their research and know who's good in their area, because there's no way I could know in every area, who's the best of the best. So that's helpful when they do that.
I'm struggling with that right now. It's difficult whenever you've got to reach out and find the contractors yourself. It's a challenge for sure. Have you ever had to pass or fire a past client? And if so, would you mind sharing that story?
I have both.
Okay.
I have passed on clients, as I said before, the main reason being my schedule. I just couldn't do it in the time frame that they needed. That's the number one reason why we pass. We can't fit it in our schedule in the time frame that the client needs. I have also ended a relationship with a client. We got into, unfortunately, a couple years ago, a situation where the client, myself, and the contractor had a disagreement, and the project fell through for all three of us. And it was very stressful. Obviously, it's not something that I was happy about. It was awful. But it's real life, and it was, looking back, I don't think it was any one person's fault. I think everybody contributed to the breakdown, if you will. And it was an unfortunate thing that happens, but in business and in life, obviously, these things happen, and you do the best that you can in the time. It was very stressful, but to move on and just say, it will get better. And it did. And, I've moved on, they've moved on, and it's okay.
Yeah. Yes. Similar situations have happened, and projects have ended, and in my, not with my personal firm, but at my old boutique, I was the lead designer, and we had to end a couple of relationships because it got to the point where it was no longer, the creative, once there is so much stress and hostility, and it's no longer an enjoyable process, and it kind of limits your creativity, and that the job isn't executed as well as it should be, because everyone is under so much stress. And so it kind of, even though it is hard to do at the time because of all the work that goes into it, it's for the best. I think any of those kind of ended relationships, partnerships, business partnerships.
Sure. Yeah.
In the end.
I think it's bound to happen, and
yes,
100%. It is what it is in the end. Yeah. It's not pleasant, but yep.
Not everyone. Yeah. 100% of personalities don't always click, and you have to respect it, and yep. You can't force things like that. So I completely agree. So have you ever gone after a client, and instead of them coming to you before?
No, I haven't chased anyone. I haven't. Maybe I should. Maybe that's what.
I have some people in mind that I'm like, I really want to go after, but
you
no,
should.
I've never done it.
Yeah, you should. No, I haven't. And, maybe that would spice things up in my business if I start. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes. I don't have that aggressive personality, but sometimes I kind of wish that I did. And I always like to push myself and challenge myself. So maybe we'll talk in a year or two and see if that's
there we go.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
Yes.
I'll take tips from you on how to do it.
Yeah, I'll call you and let you know how it goes, and then we can improvise for the future.
I like it.
Do you have a favorite project to date?
I love, it was very exciting for me. I guess it's probably been 5 or 6 years to do that whole modern house that Piet Boone designed here in my area that did get featured on Elle Decor. Mm-hmm. So for me, they started off with like 2 rooms, and then they ended up saying, let's do the whole house. And so that was so exciting to me to do from scratch. It was, Piet Boone designed, and then to get it featured in Elle Decor was just, that was my year that I felt like, I felt like all of my hard work, the tears, the sweat, the stressful nights, the nursing my babies while I'm working, it all kind of came together when, I got the note when Elle Decor said they wanted the story. So for me, that's very personal and meaningful to me to have had that project.
When was that?
I think it's, I want to say 2000, maybe 14. It's been a while.
So they approached you? The architect?
Elle Decor or the client?
The client or the architect?
Oh, no. So the house had been built by Piet Boone in this area. He partnered with a development company, and then the client hired me to design the house.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
So that was fun.
That was an amazing project.
That was fun. And then we just finished this past January our Florida project in Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. So that was super fun. Rue, I don't know if you saw it, but Rue magazine featured it. So that client was amazing. Again, I have amazing clients. Everybody is super cool. Had a blast working with her, and she had great taste, so it was easy.
I did see it, and it's stunning. It's so beautiful. You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How do you have a problem with clients shopping you? And if so, how do you combat that?
And when you say shopping, you mean trying to find things?
Yes. So, you presenting your designs, and then the client shops the designs on their own behind, and either purchase them on their own, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I understood what you were asking. I haven't had that problem. When we sign the contract, we agree to the terms, and some projects are different than others. But yeah, and I haven't faced that issue actually.
No, okay. Yeah, so I have mixed reviews with designers that I've spoken to, and because, you know, we're in 2021 and everyone has access to everything on the internet, there have been issues with that in past projects with mine, and then also some other designers that I am friends with, and whatnot. And so, we're just always kind of like figuring out what the best approach with that is. And I think I have kind of gotten it down, but yeah, it varies with, I think, also areas and designers, whether or not they run into this problem. But I'm glad that you haven't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it done for you. Let me do it.
Yes. Maybe you can give me some pointers on that. Regarding all of your press and accolades and partnerships that you've received, which was the most meaningful, and why?
Well, like I said, I think the L Decor was special because, I mean, I don't know any designer that would say no, they don't want to be featured. So for me personally, that was a big deal. And then, all of my brand partnerships just came in so organically through their PR firms, and so I'm proud of all of them because I'm just thankful and excited to work with all types of companies. So for me, everything is a bonus.
Yes, I agree. I'm so grateful that I get to do what I love on a daily basis, and use my creativity, and also grow business wise and all of that. And I'm not sure, but about you, but I would assume it's such a lovely business to be in, or industry to be in, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who is one of your favorites? What's one of your favorite sources that you use, whether it's accessories, lighting, or what?
So I really love to independent kind of. I love first dibs. I love finding little one-off pieces that make the space so unique. But mass, I would say, I love it, like design district areas. I love Holly Hunt. I love, there are so many.
There's so many. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just was asking if there was something off the top of your head.
Yeah. So I found, I love Stephen Antonson lighting. I mean, he is just like, he's such an artist. It's incredible. Oh my gosh, I've reached out to him. I really want him to interview him on this IGTV series, but he's not responded. So if he sees this, please.
Yeah.
But you have to look him up. I'll send you his page. It is
I would love to see it.
Exceptional.
Oh, I would love it.
Okay, so I'll forward it to you after this. But yeah, there's so many that I'm kind of. ER Studio is another that's so good. I love finding these little unique kind of artists that aren't mainstream. That's what makes this space so unique, so kind of custom, I feel. What about you? Let me turn the question around on you. I like the
I found this lighting company in New York called Blueprint Lighting, and I love them because they can custom the finish. They use a lot of metal, and I've used it now in a couple of projects, and it's Blueprint, one word, lighting, and I think they're out of Brooklyn, so I love them.
Yeah, I've never heard of them either. I love finding new sources. Over your career, what is your biggest accomplishment? It doesn't have to be a project. It could be anything. To date, would it be the El Decor, or would it be a project, or would it be what would you think? What would you say?
You know, I would say that I've been able to have the business for 15 years and, be able to have my family and take care of my kids, do it on my schedule, and be able to grow it to this point where I can pick and choose my clients. And then these big brands, I have a big brand partnership announcement coming up soon. And just that these people are coming to me is still like pinch me, because I was the stay-at-home mom who quit her good job to start something she loved. So for me, it's all gravy, all of it. Like, just that I have the business to me, that's my biggest accomplishment, is that I'm running a successful business. To me, I'm proud of that, and I'm proud that my daughters can see that their mom can do something on her own by herself. Of course I have help, but I mean that I've started something and they get to see that independence, and that for me is huge.
I love that answer. Congratulations.
Thank you
for all that you've accomplished. It's very inspiring. What inspires you to keep going whenever you are kind of in a valley or going through a challenging time? And can you share a story about one of the hardest moments of entrepreneurship and how you overcame it?
Yeah, let me think about that. I think with any job, there's going to be ups and downs. You know what the hardest part is? I think balancing. It's balancing the clients' personalities. If you hired someone, managing them. It's just the hardest part is just balancing everything. And then also, in a nutshell, I'm responsible ultimately for everything to be moving and working properly at any given time across every project. So even though I have help, it's still ultimately it's my business, so everything really comes down to me. So it's a pressure that will always be there. But again, what is the next best alternative to me not doing design? I don't have one. This is it for me forever. So I'm going to do my best, and the valleys are going to come, and I'll just ride them out. And then when the peaks come, I'm going to enjoy those too. I think that's all you can do, really.
Right.
I always think in the hardest times of design, whether it's if a client situation happened, or there was a breakup with a client, or whatever, there's a mistake on our end, I always think in 6 months or 3 months, whatever the time frame is that I assign, arbitrarily in my head, this is going to pass. This too shall pass. I'm in the moment. It's heavy. it's yucky, whatever. But I know that likely in a couple months, everything will be back to normal. Everybody's going to be fine. And in the end, it really is just design. It is not, surgery. It's design, and everybody will be okay.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's difficult to kind of take yourself out of the moment for a second whenever you're in the thick of it. But
yes,
but it's true. You do overcome whatever obstacle or challenge is that you're facing, and move through it. And generally 95% of the time, once you do surpass that, everyone is so happy, and the client loves your job, and the end result, and you're so happy to have completed and worked through all of those challenges.
yes.
But yeah, that's a good little answer there. What are your favorite designers, or one favorite designer, or artist that inspire you? Yes.
So I like I like many designers actually, but I've always admired Kelly Wearstler, even though I am not a bold designer. And as anybody who's seen my work, it's clean and neutral and modern. I've always admired her risk-taking in design with mixing patterns and colors. I think that's a skill, and obviously she's got it. We all know that. So I have admired her, even if her style is not necessarily mine, and it's over the top for me personally. I've always admired her skills to be able to pull off these homes that are crazy cool with just like the perfect mix of textures, and patterns. It's just amazing. On the flip side, I do love designers, of course, who are more what I prefer myself and how I design, and that's the clean modern. I like Kelly Hoppen. I really like anybody pretty much who does it clean, modern, simple, neutral. Less is more to me. I typically, those clean spaces that are so minimal, they speak to me the most.
Yeah, I really admire and am inspired by both of those women as well. Kelly is just the master of patterns. It's incredible. What are your favorite places to shop or explore for merchandise, home merchandise, things around your house, or your clients as well?
Yeah. Well, I like to travel, so I try to find stuff when I'm traveling. Because then I know it's something different, accessories, rug, whatever. It makes the space obviously more special. So those are one-off shops. But I did post the other week on stories, shout out to Montana LaBelle Designs.
Oh my gosh.
She has amazing, have you seen her stuff? You've seen her, right?
Yes.
So I buy a lot of stuff, or I bought recently a lot of stuff from her. Everything is amazing. So I'm kind of addicted to her shop right now. So a little plug for her. Yeah, I love anything that's just more unique, handmade, natural, organic. And I try to find different things through Instagram. Things will just pop up and I'll tag it. And honestly, I don't even have a list. Like, I just know off the top of my head kind of what I like, and then I'll go through my Instagram saved files and say, oh, this one in Belgium looks cool. And convert the pricing, and then I'll figure out if we can do it.
Yeah, same. I have so many different folders saved, and I just go through those when I'm looking, sourcing, and reach out to these little independent kind of shops. But Montana LaBelle, I love organic too. All the neutrals, everything she has, all her spaces, they're just incredible.
She's very talented.
I would love
her
to
shop's
go
awesome
too. Yes, so talented and a great eye for different little independent artists. Love it. So you explained that your design aesthetic for your own home is just the clean, simple, modern,
Very
and
simple.
yeah, it's beautiful. And then the last question is anything new, and I'm sorry if you hear we're having a patio built, and
That's fine. That's
and
fine.
I apologize for the hammering right
That's
now.
fine.
Anywho, anything new and exciting in the pipeline for JWS Interiors that you'd like to share with the audience?
We have a partnership that I signed the contract and did some filming for. So hopefully that will come out later this month or next month. I'll be announcing that with a well-known big box brand. So that's exciting.
Oh, congratulations. I can't wait to see your journey with them.
Thank you. And then the other thing is I have partnered with Rug Art out of New York. And I have just finished designing my first rug collection for them. And that comes out in early 2022. So I'm very excited. They asked me to design my first collection, and I have had the samples, and now they're in production, and they'll be in the New York and Miami show, the New York Design Center showroom there, and then also I think in Miami starting next year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank
I can't
you.
wait to see what you've
Yeah.
created. I don't know this brand. I'll have to look them up. What it's Rug?
It's Rug Art NYC, I think, is the Instagram handle. They have a showroom at the New York Design Center. They're high end luxury rug brand, and then I think they have one in Miami as well.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, so excited.
I'll be following along. That's so exciting. I'm super excited for you. Congratulations on all of that. I'm sure it will be a huge success. Thank you so much for being a part of this and for our chat today. You are just as lovely as I imagined, and I can't wait to see all that you have coming up in the future.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate it so much. It was super fun, excuse me, to join, so thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Well,
thank you guys for supporting our businesses. That means a lot to us.
It does. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Jennifer.